Alright, so this video is going to be directed at Fiery Phoenix, who did a live stream about me recently because he heard what I was saying about him on my last live stream and didn't particularly care for it. I only found out he had done this stream after it ended, and he was calling for me to join the stream the entire time he was live. So I figured I should at least make a short video explaining why I said what I said about him, as well as retract something I said about him that I realized I was incorrect about. After this live was brought to my attention, I searched for the screenshot I took of what I was dragging Phoenix on stream about, and found exactly that. Taken on July 17th, we see Phoenix in the chat of someone commonly known as Piggy, conversing with him and another person named Savage Batman in a positive manner. I took issue with this because the two of them are both loyal supporters of an individual who goes by Matman on social media. Matman is somebody who is infamous for being a pedophile who goes on YouTube to groom children. He has a long history of this type of behavior, and that fact is the one thing that people know him for. Piggy is severely autistic and met Matman when he was a kid. Piggy quickly grew an unhealthy obsession / devotion to Matman, who essentially began acting as one of, if not the only friend Piggy has. Of course, Matman did this for malicious reasons. That should go without saying. I don't know if Matt ever had any plans of harming Piggy in that way, but for those of you who know about the terrible things Mr. Lantern has done in the past, another severely mentally challenged individual who basically lives on the internet, it is highly suspected by some that his worst behaviors were the result of Matman manipulating him into acting them out. I can't tell you for a 100% fact that this is true, as I haven't seen any solid evidence for it outside of what people have said, but it is something I have heard has happened, and it's definitely not something I would put past Matt. I absolutely believe he's doing the same thing he allegedly did to Mr. Lantern to Piggy. It is a known fact that Piggy was making inappropriate advances a while back towards his own cousin, and it got to the point where she was begging her grandma, who she was living with, to not allow him to spend the night at their house. A polite grandma, of course, ignored and played off as no big deal. There's no doubt in my mind that this behavior from Piggy was brought on by Matt's influence on him, even if indirectly. Matt is such a horrible person that I can absolutely see a severely autistic kid with no positive authority figures in his life, who spends most of his days around Matt, being driven to the point where they believe this type of behavior is okay. I do sympathize with Piggy to an extent because he is someone who was failed by everybody around him. His parents have been contacted and informed that their son spends all of his time talking to Matman, and instead of responding the way most parents would to news like this, they couldn't be bothered to do anything about it, and let their son continue down the dark path he's been set to go down. They don't care about their children at all. They live in a house that's infested with bugs, something that Piggy has complained about on multiple live streams. That entire family is absolute dog shit. They all need to face criminal charges for neglecting their children to such a horrifying degree. I think people like Piggy and Mr. Lantern should be placed in a group home or sort of assisted living facility where they can live out their lives as well as possible without any access to the internet and demons like Matman. Matt has no cognitive impairments. He is a fully functioning adult who knows exactly what he's doing at all times. He is pure evil and should be treated accordingly. The other person in the chat room with Phoenix in the screenshot is Savage Batman, who I believe is Matt's brother, who completely supports Matt and his online behavior. These are just not the type of people anybody should be hanging out with. And when I saw Phoenix doing exactly that, I screenshotted it and later talked about it on livestream. Likely during a point in the life where I was out of things to talk about and wanted to keep the people listening somewhat entertained. I did mess the facts up during that stream and said that Phoenix was typing in Matman's chat, which was not true. He was in Piggy's chat. He was interacting with two people who support Matman, not Matman himself. At least not that I remember. I've had a pretty long and eventful past couple of weeks, and my memory is pretty shit as it is. So I got some details mixed up and didn't realize until after Phoenix's live, where I looked back at the screenshot I took and saw that I was incorrect. So to clarify once again, I did not see Phoenix in Matman's chat. I saw him in Piggy's chat. If you hear me saying he was in Matt's chat, please disregard it because that information is wrong. I really should have looked back and made sure I was getting the details of what happened right before speaking on it. That's my bad, and I apologize. However, Phoenix was still interacting with two of Matt's biggest defenders, and that is something I am still very much critical of. I forget who said it, but I did hear from someone that Phoenix and Matt aren't currently friends, and I heard Phoenix speak in a negative way towards that group in his recent livestream. So I'm willing to accept that at this very moment, he is not on good terms with them, which is a huge step in the right direction. The only thing is, he's befriended and fallen out with this group in the past, so the only way I can believe that this is truly the final time he'll have anything to do with these people is if he consistently stays away from them, which I really hope he does. Phoenix, I know you are friends with other enemies of mine, such as GBT and the Artist Devil, but the only real problem I have with you is when you are associating yourself with the people in this particular community. This is one of the darkest and most disturbing corners of the internet I have ever encountered, and I don't think anybody should be supporting it. I don't think you are currently at this moment, which means I have no reason to speak negatively about you. It's when you are supporting this sector, that's when I'm critical of you. Because all of these people, especially Mattman, deserve zero endorsements from anybody. You can respond to this video however you may. I don't expect you to like me very much after all this, nor do I really care. But I hope I was able to clear up any confusion. I don't wish anything bad to happen to you, and I have no reason to believe you yourself are anything like Mattman. Just continue what you appear to already be doing. Don't support Mattman and his circle, and never support them again. And that'll be that. I'm not saying this because I want to control what you do. I'm saying it because I don't want anybody to support Mattman's group. I would say the same thing to anybody else. Anyway, that's about everything. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself.